Hello guys. What I was thinking to make a short video about homemade wine, how we make wine at home without using any modern technologies or whatsoever, only our hands and some very humble, simple tools, the way our grandparents used to do for centuries. So I was planning that will be a very short video, but it's impossible to make it really short. So I do apologize for the length of this video, but please do watch it till the end, and at the end also I will ask a very interesting question to all of you and try to answer that question as well, and put the comments down below. And yeah, I will show you how we make wine at home in Gagauzia, that's south of Republic of Moldova. Yeah, please let me know if you like this video. Put all the comments down below. I read them all. Thank you so much and enjoy the video. Have you ever wondered how the homemade wine is made? I know we all like homemade wines and we think they're the best ones because they're pure, they're all organic and they're all natural. Yes, that's true. But did you ever know how it is actually made? Yes, here in the south of Moldova, actually in Gagauzia, we have a lot of sunshine, as you can see, even in February. So we have a lot of sunshine and that makes our wines quite strong, which we all like and love. So I'm gonna show you how we make wine from start all the way till we pour it into the glass in a glass. And we start roughly in February or March or maybe even April, the lazy ones. As you can see, we all have some smallish vineyard in here, and we just only our family members working here, and we make like maybe 1 ton of wine, sometimes less, sometimes more, it depends on the year, and we make it for ourselves, or sometimes we just sell it, and we use only our hands basically, or maybe a pair of these. Yeah, these ones, by the way, my granddad was using them, so these ones might be probably 50 years old, if not more. My dad was using them for ages, and now I'm using them. They're quite reliable. When we buy the new ones, the modern advanced ones, they break within a year or two, so we never use them anymore. We use the old ones, even if they look ugly. Anyway, what we do in February or March, we have to, because this one is quite, it's gonna be huge in April, it's gonna grow too big and there will be too many leaves, so we don't need so many leaves. We need grapes, we don't need leaves. That's why we cut some of the branches, and for that, for example, this branch is quite weak, we don't need it, we cut it all the way from the root. This one is quite strong, it's gonna give us some grapes, so that's why we leave about 10 centimeters and then we cut it. These ones, they're all rubbish, we just cut them, we don't need them, simple as that. This one, very strong, we're gonna have some wine from it, so we leave it about 10 centimeters from it. This one, nah, it doesn't look like that. We clean the bottom one, we clean it like that, we clean the, like this. This one, yeah, it will give some wine for us. Let's make it like this. This one is last year's and it doesn't look good, so we don't need it. This one we don't need it as well. Yeah, I know it's a bit complicated at the moment, you're not gonna understand what I'm doing exactly, but it's alright. At the end of the day we need some wine. So it's quite simple, straight process. This one is too much, and there we go. Now we have to clean everything. We have to open a little bit of the roots, we need to open them so more air gonna go inside, like that. So here we go, and this is the first stage, and I have to do this everywhere. This, that, yes, it takes time. I get, but this is what we have to do. And the second stage will be, stay tuned, and I'll show you very soon. Hey guys. Okay, now it's September. Yeah, time flies, I know. Now it's September, and it's perfect time to pick up our grapes. Here they are. And very soon from these grapes we'll have a perfect wine. Yeah, here we go. That's what we need. It's lovely, isn't it? It looks dirty, but trust me, it's not. It's just nice. Yeah, we'll pick them in here and take them down to our high-tech machine to squash them. I'll show that to you in a minute. Yeah, this year we're lucky. We don't have any rain at the moment, because sometimes we do have rain and we have no choice other than to do the work anyway. But this year we're okay. This year we can pick them easily. Nice warm weather. Yeah, and very soon these grapes will turn into perfect red wine. It is red, but it will look very, very dark. Some people always say it's a black wine. No, it is not. It's actually a red wine. It does look very dark though. Here we go. Let me show you the next stage. Oh wait, until then let me show you how the grapes are on the... Here we go. From here. Here we go. All that was picked up. I just left one of them just to show you how we do that. Yeah, and I'll show you the rest of the process in a second. And now I'm gonna show you what we do with this high-tech machine when we bring down all the grapes. All this, it will go to this high-tech machine. Yes, it is very high-tech. Don't look, it looks a bit old. It hasn't got any Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connections, but all it needs is your bare hands and a huge desire to make a wine. Let's do it. And next, with your hands, simple. And this is our high-tech machine from the top. As you can see, there are two metal bars in there which squash our grapes. I mean, these ones. These are perfect grapes, and they go straight in our high-tech machine. That's the way. Okay. And all we need is two pair of hands and a huge desire to make homemade wine. That's how Gagauz people make wine. Here we go. And now we need our hands. It's an easy peasy process which we enjoy, and it's a part of our culture. You see how it goes? Straight there. Here we go. That's it. Thanks to my daddy. Here we go. As you can see, we removed the juice. Now we have a bit more space in our barrel, and that's why we had more chance to fit more grapes and squash them in. Yeah, and now what we do, this was the process of squashing the grapes before our high-tech machine was invented a few hundred years ago. And until that, people were doing this, the humble stick, and that's what we were doing. They were squashing the grapes like this, and only after that people start to squash them with their bare feet of virgin girls, or maybe not, I'm not sure, but definitely with bare feet. And until that time, this was the process. Of course, we don't do that anymore, but sometimes my dad uses this old technique just for the fun of it. And now you are the witness how it is done. And yes, don't forget, it's 2019 and we still use this technique from time to time when we're bored. Now, let me have a look at the juice we have in here. That's the interesting part. We can try it now. And it should be very, very tasty. Here we go. We just dip it inside, trying to catch the juice only and nothing else. Filling up my glass. There we go. Yeah. This is the fresh juice we just made, squashing all those grapes through this high-tech machine with no Wi-Fi connection or whatever. But anyway, this should be the tastiest and the sweetest. Oh yeah, it has so much sugar in it. Yes, I know, I'm not talking, it's not the healthiest juice you can try. It has so much sugar, but we do need that sugar because that sugar will ferment into alcohol. So the more sugar we have now, the stronger the wine will be. So we do need that sugar. That sugar is actually healthy because it will ferment into alcohol. Well, alcohol is not healthy either, but never mind. This is really sweet and really tasty. You know, when you buy grape juice in your Walmart or Tesco's or whatever, in your big supermarket, and when you try that juice and you think it's grape juice, trust me, it has nothing to do with real juice, which is this one, and it tastes completely different. It's like from a completely different world. If you try that one without knowing this one, you'll think that one is the real juice, but trust me, it is not. This is the real juice. This one tastes really, really nice. Plus, this just has no any chemicals in it whatsoever. Nothing at all, because we never put any chemicals or anything to keep our grapes safe. They're just natural. Nothing goes wrong with them, so we don't even need to use any chemicals on them. So it's a win-win situation. Yes, and this one, in few days time, in here, there will be a lot of mosquitoes on the top of this, and when there will be a lot of mosquitoes, that's a sign that the sugar starts to fermentize into alcohol. So the more mosquitoes we have, the more stronger the wine starts to become, and that's exactly what we need. And after a few days, we'll start to take this wine into our wine cellar, and over there it will stay for another 2-3 months or so until it settles, and that's when the wine actually becomes a proper wine and we can try it and the way we love. And now let me show this so you can see what it is. Yes, it doesn't look so nice, but it tastes so good. Yes, and this is the grape juice. If you wanna try, come to Moldova and you'll see. Yeah, and this one is this. And now let me show you what's going on inside of that barrel. Here we are. This. You see some flies, some bees already in here, which is a good sign which means there are a lot of sugar, and mosquitoes love that. Very soon there will be those tiny little mosquitoes. That's what we need. And the temperature outside is about 23 degrees or so, and that's really good. There's no rain, it's not cold, which means this wine will fermentize really quick. And yeah, that's exactly what our plan. Yeah, we have some holes in this barrel, but never mind, it's alright. And have a look what's going on in here. Our high-tech machine in here. Have a look what's inside of this high-tech machine. Yeah, there's some grapes all over places. Some grapes left over here. And very soon all these grapes, they will end up right down into here. Because we do need them as well. You cannot make really nice wine out of these particular grapes. This type of grapes are not really good for the wines, but we use them anyway. Normally these grapes are here only for the shade, so we have them as a shade. And in summertime when we have a lunch in here, our dinners, we sit in a nice shady cozy place. Yeah, and that's how we make wine in Moldova. Okay, this is day 2 of our homemade wine journey, and today, if you can see, now we put a tiny little tube inside of this barrel, and we have a lot of foam, and that foam indicates to us that there's a fermentation process which makes alcohol from sugar. Basically, sugar turns into alcohol. Our friendly bacteria do the best job for us. Yeah, and it still hasn't got so much alcohol in it, maybe a couple of percent, but the process basically started, and we take all this juice into our wine cellar where the process will continue. And this foam comes up as a result of the fermentation. Those bacteria eat the sugar and make alcohol and carbon dioxide from it. So that foam is actually carbon dioxide. I'm pretty sure you know what that is. It's not the very friendly gas you can meet, but I'll tell about that in a minute. Look at this color of this red juice, and trust me, it's so much sweetness. It got so much sugar in it. It's so nice. I just love that. I can't stop drinking this. It's just so tasty. I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it if you try it one day. Look at the color. It's just pure red. Yes, that's yummy. And now we are in the wine cellar, where we put all this wine into here. Well, for now it's a juice, but we put all the juice inside of this barrel. And let me show you how we do that. Yeah, here we got the wine. We got all the juice. Yeah, now we put another bucket and we make another line in here, and we count how many buckets will go into this barrel, because We never used this barrel before, we don't know how many liters it takes, so just in case we put envelopes, just 4 dots, lines, and it shows we'll have 100 liters in this barrel. Yeah, it's tiny one, I think it's like 250 liters maybe. And yeah, the wine will keep fermenting in here for another few weeks, and all this cellar will be full of gas. All the foams will come up from here. I'll show you, if I'll have enough time, I'll show you how all this foam comes up. And when that foam comes up, all this room will be filled of carbon dioxide, and that's really dangerous. This barrel becomes a killer. For a few good weeks it will be a killer. If a person walks into wine cellar when it's full of gas in here, you can literally die in a minute. And in Moldova, every year there are in the news like a couple died in the wine cellar, because normally a husband comes here to check if there is enough room in here to make sure it's open and it's not blocked. And when husband comes here, he dies, and a woman comes to help him and she dies next to him, because it's really dangerous. So yes, that's the procedure of homemade wine, and that's part of it. We just have to be more careful when we do this. Yeah, and that's everywhere in the world actually. I know people normally don't know, they just know a bottle of wine, oh that's perfect, that's nice. They don't know that people who make homemade wine, they take the risk when they take care of this juice inside of this barrel. For now it's juice, but after maybe 7 days it will be alcohol, very strong alcohol. And also, you see these sticks? We use these tiny humble sticks, we dip them inside in here, and we just make a measurement so we can see how much water we got inside of this barrel. Just another option to check it. And we've got another bucket, here we go. Very sweet juice. Yeah, because there's no air gap, there's no any air gap in here. That's why it just pushes all that air outside when we fill it up. Yeah, and another thing, this wine is absolutely pure. We haven't got any chemicals, we don't put any chemicals into our grapes when they grow. We don't use any chemicals in here, and we never put this wine into bottles to sell them somewhere or whatever. In winter we drink the wine straight from this barrel. We just open that tiny hole at the bottom and that's it. Or sometimes we can even use in here. We just pump it out and we drink straight from this barrel. That's why even if we put into a bottle, it's not gonna hold there for too long, because it hasn't got any sulfites or something like that. Any bottle of wine you can buy from the shop, it has some tiny bit of chemicals to make that bottle last longer. But this one won't last too long, because it hasn't any chemicals at all. Yeah, that's our pure homemade wine. And if you feel that you want to see this, come to Moldova and you will see this process from scratch, from the beginning when we start to pick up the grapes from our vineyard all the way till Christmas when we finish it off. But trust me, we don't finish it by Christmas now. We have even wine from last 3 years, because we don't drink it too much. We cannot drink so much wine. And so just down there in that room in our cellar we have wines from last 3 years, and we don't know what to do with it. We haven't got anyone. We need someone to come and help us to drink that wine. If you feel that you're strong enough, welcome to Moldova, to south of Moldova, to Gagauzia, and we will show you what the word wine means. So basically this wine stays in here for a good half year, and after half year all the yeast and all the bad things, it just settles down at the bottom of this barrel. And what we do in spring or in February, March or April, it depends. We take this wine from this barrel and we just take it down to the another room. We just pump it out from this barrel straight into another barrel, and all the bad things stays in here. We just remove it, we just throw it away. We don't need all that yeast and all that dirty things. It's just rubbish. We cannot use it anywhere. Yeah, and after we do this process, when we change the wine change the barrel in spring, that wine will stay for another half year or so, and this process has to be done after that every year to keep the wine going. But normally people don't do it. Normally people finish the wine by the by the next September, basically, when we need to pick up the grapes again. Normally people finish all that wine, but we are not that good in drinking wine, so we have wine for the last 3 years. We just keep it for ourselves, for our grandchildren. Yeah, and that's how we make wine in Moldova. And in a few days I will show you what we do with all that squashy bits which are still in that barrel in our garden. I'll show you what we do with that squashy stuff. We don't just take the juice and leave that squashy stuff. No, we put that stuff in another high-tech machine. I'll show you very soon as well. You'll be surprised from that machine that people still use that in 21st century. Yes, we do. And we just press that stuff and we extract even more wine from that. And that one is even more black and more stronger. Stay tuned. Okay, today is day 5 of our homemade wine journey. This wine here we have is been fermented for the last 5 days, because in night time we had really cold weather. It was like 6 or 8 degrees, which is too low for the wine. So that's why it was for so long, for 5 days. And let me show what's going on after 5 days. Here we have, here is our barrel. Here it is, and have a look. Now we have so much foam in here, which indicates that sugar turns into alcohol, and that's exactly what we need. Now this is not juice anymore. There's a lot of juice in there, but it's not juice. It's half wine, basically. If you drink that juice, you'll feel that it's not a juice. It's a wine. And what we're gonna do today? Today we'll take all this stuff. As you remember, we removed all the water, but there is still a lot of juice remaining here. So what we're gonna do today, we will take all this squishy stuff and we'll take all this stuff to another high-tech machine, and we'll squeeze that. We'll squeeze every single bit of juice to make more wine. That's exactly what we need, don't we? And I'll show you that in a second, how we do that, and another high-tech machine. Oh yeah, stay tuned. And now what we have in here, this high-tech machine, it's not assembled yet, but we just wash it to make sure our wine is extremely clean. Yeah, we just wash it. It will dry a little bit. It's not necessarily anyway, but we'll wash it, then we'll assemble. And as you might guess what this machine does, no, it doesn't do anything automatically. It's completely manual controlled with heavy force sometimes. And I'll show you in a second how we do that as well. Yeah, and now we take all that squishy bits from our 5 days old barrel and half-made wine. We take from here and we move it straight into this high-tech machine. Have a look. Yeah. It goes straight into here, and I'll show you what's going on in a minute. Hold it, whatever left, any liquid left, it will go straight into this bowl. Here we go. And this tiny thing we need as well, in case any grapes or whatever left, any branches, leaves, it settles in here. Yeah, this high-tech machine, it's about 100 years old, at least this bit, and this one, they're at least 100 years old. These two bits as well, the original ones. The rest were replaced, but these two, the original, they're at least 100 years old. And all these metals, all these cases, all these metal frames, they are the original ones as well. They're at least 100 years old. These woods, we replaced them like about 10 years ago, because the originals one were too bad. You couldn't make any work on it. Yeah, but imagine this metal, it was used for 100 years, for 100 years, every year, and it made so much wine. Yep. And all the squishy bits, have a look. Now the wine is dripping slowly. Here we go. Have a look at that. And that's exactly how people used to do wine centuries and centuries ago. And we do this even today, in 2019. And we drink exactly the same wine which people used to drink centuries ago. Exactly the same taste, exactly the same techniques. You cannot find anywhere in the world other than in Gagauzia. Yeah, and now after we filled it up, our second high-tech machine, we put all these wooden things on the top to make a bit more heavy weight on it, and it's easier to squash it down. Yeah, it will, then we'll rotate this on the top with a big wooden stick. And now I'm gonna show you how we do the, instead of using any type of oil, we don't use any oil, because oil is quite dangerous. That's why this is what we do to lubricate. As you can see, there's nothing in there other than squashy grapes. They work as a lubricant, because we cannot use any motor oil. It would do the job much better, but unfortunately it will destroy the taste. We cannot use the cooking oil as well, because cooking oil will do the job this year, but next year all these metal bits, there will be like another layer of metal on the top of it. So we don't use the cooking oil as well. It becomes very tough after 1 year. And we don't want to use anything to wash it out, any fairy or whatsoever. We just use water and nothing else at all. And have a look. And now our wooden thing, long stick, will go into these holes, and it will help us to rotate, because our hands are not so strong to rotate this one all the way in. Imagine how much power you need. Yeah, and now this wooden stick goes straight here, and we will enjoy rotating it. And this stick is old, maybe 100 years. And have a look. Now we rotate, and the wine comes down. Ew! That's exactly what we need. Look, half rotation, not even in one circle, and already so much wine in there. Here we go. And that's our high-tech machine number 2. That's how it works. It just presses the wine down, the grapes, squashed grapes, and we have this delicious wine.
Сейчас похудо, рядом переделаем.
And look at that, it's completely black. The darker it is, the better the taste. That's why our red wine, we call it black wine actually, because it's so black, so dark. Have a look at this technology. I hope guys you enjoy this kind of videos. If I'll have any more information about the videos, about the wines, I will let you know. And so far, that's how we make wine here in Gagauzia in Moldova. Our best wines. If you feel that you want to try that kind of wines, welcome to Gagauzia then. Yeah, and a quick off topic for you guys. You see this? This is not ready wine. It's homemade wine, but it's not wine yet. It has sugar in it and it has a lot of alcohol as well, but it's still not ready. So what happens inside in here? Sugar slowly ferments into alcohol, and we cannot stop that process. When it starts, you cannot stop it. It goes on automatically. You just cannot stop it. So, what Portuguese done ages ago, there is a town in there called Port, and probably you know that there is wine called port wine or port wine or whatever you call it. It's port. So what it is not a wine as it should be. It's not a wine on itself, on its own. It's this juice with a little bit of alcohol in it. When it just starts to ferment, they put alcohol inside. They just put spirit. They just put alcohol inside, and that stops fermenting. Basically, whatever it's inside, it stays inside as it is. So what we have as a result, we have sugar and we have alcohol, and they put a lot of alcohol. It's like about 15 or 16%, because it has to be a lot to keep it preserved. So whatever it's inside, it stays conserved for a long period of time, and that's what we call fortified wine or port from a town in Portugal. It's called after that town name, port wine. And yeah, that's not a bad wine, but it's not very popular in our places because we don't even need that, because we have this one, and we prefer this one to any port. This is much better when it's ready by February. In some places it doesn't even last till February, it finishes much earlier, but that's a different story. And yeah, very soon we'll finish our press. Our press will stop working because it's really hard to rotate that wood. It's quite hard, yeah. Delicious. Lovely. I just love this. Can't stop drinking it. Okay, now we have squeezed every single bit of wine from this press, and now we're gonna dismantle and we'll remove whatever left inside. Have a look. Oh yeah, can you hear that? Yeah, and these ones, 100 years old, can you imagine? And it still does the job. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Let me show you what's going on in here. As you can see, this one, it has no liquid in it. Well, it still has some, but it's not that much. Most of it went into our barrel to continue fermenting. So this one, okay, so what we've done now, we removed every single bit of juice for our future wine, and what we're left with is, here we go, is this. Have a look. And if you think that this is a rubbish, no, it is not rubbish. It's quite dry, but it's still got some liquid in it. So we will dry it, and then guess what we're gonna do with it? We will give that stuff to our sheeps. Yes, they love that stuff. If we give that stuff right now to our sheeps, they'll get literally drunk because these leftovers, they have alcohol in them, and sheeps normally they don't refuse when you offer them alcohol, so they'll consume that, they'll have all that, and they can get drunk. So now let me ask you a very interesting question. If you watch this video till the end, thank you for that. And here is the question. Look over here, and you can see in here, you can see this, and this is exactly the same as this thing. We use this to sweep our front garden. Sometimes I used to do it when I was a child, and exactly that thing is inside of there in this barrel. It's exactly the same one. It goes all the way to the bottom of this barrel. Now the question is, why do we need this in this barrel? Trust me, there's a very particular reason why it is there, and we don't make wine unless we put this one into this barrel at this stage. If you know the question, if you know the answer, please write in the comments down below, and I'll have a look if anyone knows why we use these kind of things inside of this barrel. And trust me, everyone does. Whoever makes wine at home, they do use this kind of thing, and we need it. It has to be in there. A wine can be done even without it, but it will be much harder work for us to do. It saves us a lot of time, and yeah, think about that, and please write in the comments down below. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, please write them down below. I'm gonna read them all. I'll answer them all as well.